Hello and welcome back to another episode of World of Warcraft Hardcore. My name is Syken and today we're continuing the adventures of our little but very evil gnome warlock Syken Burns. Got a new rope that I wanted to showcase. That has been crafted for me, 40 spell damage, and we're now rocking 100 spell damage. Also got an orb that I bought from the auction house, so still trying to find kind of the right balance to upgrade our spell damage. And I think I more or less got it for now. Still got plenty of equipment to replace. Matter of fact, that entire side here still sucks. So yeah, there's room for improvement, let's put it this way. Good. Tank moves in. Yeah, even not necessarily that helpful in giving me a shield, so I gotta be a bit careful. Could have dealt way more damage.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. My mana is low. I need a target.
I always like off tanking and the ability to have a shield if needed.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
You will see, it will become very useful. I can play all 4 pets, but Woodwalker would be the preferred. Can go Fell Hunter if you guys want counter spells. People just don't know a lot about warlocks. And to be fair, his question is legit. I mean, I could go for a different pet.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. It's too far away.
So this, for instance, is a wonderful pack where Warcraft makes a lot of sense.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Not sure if that tank is having such a good time.
I can't cast that yet.
me give him a health stone. Anyone else wants a health stone?
I don't have a target. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Okay, so everybody got a health stone. Just making sure that we're going to be fine. Good, let's see how our DPS compares. I mean, last few pulls I always needed to do something else.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Now these guys die too fast in order to really have a good comparison.
That spell isn't ready
That's a
yet.
better pack.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
DPS plus 50% to what I did the last time, but still subpar to what the others are doing.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
Okay, head. No one is realizing it. And that is where Mr. Voidwalker comes into play.
I can't cast that yet. I need more mana. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
See, that is where the Voidwalker comes in handy. Can tank hits. At least the guy isn't immediately saying, wow, why aren't you using something more useful, blah 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 blah, which would be the more typical reaction.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Let's get some Stratholme Holy Water because we need that for Baron Rivendell.
That's still recharging. I can't pass that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Yeah, I could squeeze out a little bit more DPS, but I am afraid that the tank might not hold aggro. Tango, on the other hand, doesn't seem to be afraid at all. He dropped so low and didn't have a problem whatsoever. I wonder how the second boss will go, because she is hitting hard.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't pass that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Didn't see the actual recording. I think the DPS was okay. It's one of the first fights where we actually had enough time to fight against these guys.
I can't pass that yet.
If the hit point pool of the enemies is too small, then my dots are essentially not dealing enough damage, and that's a bit the problem of the Warlock in the end game. It's a spec down version of the Mage, and if you compare it side by side, although it is better in dueling purposes, you always need to kind of work around to achieve the same result that someone else can do much cleaner, really. So, for instance, AoE. Mage has slow on their AoE, and with Arcane Explosion, arguably the strongest AoE in the entire game. Warlock does have the option to AoE, but it always comes at the cost of either needing to channel and then it doesn't work out. Resources. Mage comes in with summon water and food, even better than the best that you can reasonably buy. Yes, you can buy Argent Dawn water, but that is super expensive. So, you do have Hellstone as an equivalent for the Warlock, but most players are even forgetting to use that. And I'm not even kidding. Like, that serious, many die with the Hellstone unused. Mage basically just has a damage spell, and its mobility and utility comes from being able to move, Nova, Blink, etc, etc. So all of that is good. Warlock rather stationary, and the Warlock can copy all of the abilities that the Mage has. Has good anti-caster with the Fell Hunter, has a decent pet for off-tanking, which kind of substitutes for the Frost Nova that the Mage can do. Can substitute the crowd control that the Mage can, so seduction and cheap. Could be something that you can take into consideration. But at the end of the day, the Mage always has these tools available. He doesn't need a specific pet. He just needs to press the right buttons, and then that's that, whilst the Warlock needs to make a selection, so comes always with only a subsection of all of those skills available. And I don't mind that. I don't mind it at all. It's fine. It the Warlock still has more utility, but it is niche. For instance, here I can buff C invisibility, which is great for the Eyes of Naxxramas. No other class can do that. But it is far and few in between. Like, there are instances where the Warlock absolutely excels, such as Diamond West, for instance. Lots of elementals there that no other class can deal with and need to be banished. But the reality is no one is running that dungeon on hardcore because it is super difficult and there are not enough Warlocks to go around, other than Warlocks who want to run that dungeon, and even then it's difficult to get a group. So don't want to go onto a long rant. I absolutely love Warlocks as a class, but it is noticeable that even with 100 spell damage and granted a leveling spec, we're still having problems to apply that level of damage to all of the enemies at the same time without drawing aggro. Partially also because I need to use some of my abilities in order to just CC the enemy instead of going full hand. Good, so that's 200 DPS, not bad. Not bad at all. But it takes a lot of mana. So I'm then back in the drinking game. To be fair though, the mage does the absolute same. So also oftentimes drinking. Warlock has a better sustain because he can sacrifice himself, and as long as the healer somewhat does have mana, or you do have ways of healing such as bandages, you can go. That's even an improvement over the mage. But a lot of those things that make Warlock absolutely phenomenal in duels, as in specialized to take out a specific type of enemy, isn't really practical in dungeon terms, because I can't just re-summon my pet 14 different times.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
And these schools are a great example, right? So my DPS would be higher if my dots would be allowed to actually run through, but they aren't.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
So let's see how this is going to go down.
I can't cast that yet.
That's one pull where I didn't use a lot of utility. 250 DPS. Not that bad.
That's still recharging.
Eating some cheese and we're going to be good.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
Good, but still my single target DPS has increased. Buff Shadow Resist, please. Her attack is pure shadow damage, no armor counts. We're not trying to kill the guy.
That's still recharging. I can't pass that yet. That
Let me
spell isn't ready
just make her cast go slower. I think that's helpful. It's just overall less damage.
yet. That's still
She indeed
recharging.
hurts a lot.
I can't pass that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Wonderful. I'm mind controlled. Fire on myself. Good job, guys. Alright. Chill out. Thank you. And my mana is empty. Got some deep wounds, but that's okay. Alright, do we have our quest item in here? The answer is no, so it will naturally be in the last ziggurat. First time that I got mind controlled, which is hilarious because I've done that boss so often.
I can't pass that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't pass that yet. That's still recharging. I need to target something first.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
That spell isn't ready yet.
These are great, man. Spirit isn't so good, but the rest, holy smokes, that is good. Let's put them on. Cool. Finally over 100. Finally thought that was really bad. Is upgraded. That's actually really good pens from the stat distribution as well. 14 is low, but it is not unbearably low.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready
Good.
yet.
Continuing
That's
with
still recharging.
sea invisibility.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Good, drinking up. I'm happy with how the Warlock is starting to turn out. Like that one here might have actually been a nice little turning point. I still need a belt and a couple of good shoes, and definitely a bracer that is a bit better, plus like one ring, because the other one is good, but one ring is bad, and definitely one trinket. Most of the stuff likely comes from UBRS, so I'll be trying to get a couple more UBRS runs.
I don't have a target. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I don't have a target.
Wow, interesting legs.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Okay, let's go. Lots of casters.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
Fortunately not. Let me check if I can craft it. Nope, don't have the recipe on this chart.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Yeah, the minus 100 on resistance, shadow resistance sucks. Well, we are summoning a mage, 2D curse and water.
I can't cast still recharging. I can't pass that yet.
Need to go into Ziggurat.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't pass that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't pass that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Okay, well, I'm going to get the quest item in there. That's a huge trinket upgrade as a reward. The Argent Dawn improved trinket, which will help us to deal more damage against undead. Wait, what? Where is the box? Okay, come and help me summon then. It's good enough excuse for me to also search through the other ziggurats again. Man, did I really overlook that box? It can't be.
What do you want from me?
Damn, I am blind. I really missed the first one. Unbelievable.
It's too far away.
Okay, we're going to summon this guy. It's unfortunate, but he doesn't want to play with minus 100 shadow resistance, and I somewhat understand his point of view. So fast forward until we have finally summoned him. Okay, we're back in the game.
I need to get closer. I can't cast that yet.
Found my little Scorch data, which will allow me to finish the quest and get a better trinket, so that in itself is great.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't
Also
cast
got
that yet.
found a mage in front of the dungeon.
recharging.
Okay. Interesting to see that he very diligently pulls most of the stuff here. That's okay for me.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet.
Good. If we could get the head of this guy, that would also be awesome. Also spell damage head, second best head, only second to the turban of UBRS, Trap the Sun. So that would really be a good drop if we could manage to get that.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
DPS with my 120-ish spell power starts becoming a bit better now.
That spell isn't ready
The
yet.
dots still are a problem, but I might as well not dot and or single pulls and instead just shadow bolt. We don't need to pull this, my dude. Okay, he does not seem to know or care.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Good. Once he's pulling that one single guy, I'll drink up. Typically you can skip this, but he might play it extra safe or he needs to rep, whatever. It's not that much of a problem. I am surprised that he's tanking this dungeon because he's taking a lot of damage, but he seems to be very reluctant to not put a shield on.
I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
Yeah, we're netting 170 DPS. That's okay, I would say. That's a trap. Not wanting to go there. And you, Mr. Magistrant, I want a sweet, sweet head.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
There we go. Nice. My lucky day. Great head. That's exactly what I was hoping we would get. Interesting that the healer rolls on it.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet.
We could now be mad about it, or we're just letting it go. It is just ahead. We already have a decent one. This one, of course, would be better. But what can you do? Sometimes people are weird. To be fair, the heads that the priest has as an alternative are word drops. So there isn't like a really good pre-rating head in cloth that gives a lot of healing and has good stats, so I sort of have an understanding why he would do that. Sucks that we haven't won it, but it is what it is. Alright, lots of slimes. We're going to work through each of the abominations here, and then it's Ramstein's turn. I don't have a full recollection whether or not he drops something that a caster could use. He definitely drops the necklace for healers, but that is pretty rare. I haven't seen it very often. He also drops a decent shield and a trinket. I remember that. The trinket unfortunately isn't very good.
Recharging. I can't pass that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging.
Good, that one is a trap. That one is a trap. That one is Gucci. And that one is good as well. So got a nice little stamina buff. No one can really use that. Got strength, which we're going to put on the warrior. Spirit we already have. Good. Warrior can hold better threat with that.
That spell isn't ready yet.
And I finally got enough Stratholm Holy Water to carry the end fight. Do you have Strat Holy Water on you? Okay, you do the first wave of skeletons at Baron. I will do the second. Okay.
That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
Let's see if he agrees or if there is any trouble. No, I mean the skeletons that spawn during Baron fight. You take the first ones with holy water, I take the next wave.
That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I need embark.
Good. Rammstein. Difficult encounter if the rogue doesn't know what they are doing.
That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
Just need to get a couple of procs. There's the first
Spell
one.
isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
Aggro. Aggro.
And there's the second one.
Aggro. Aggro.
All right. Walker will be sent in to eat the Shadow Bolts and can off tank one. We focus on Skull and Shackle one. Okay. Very good. Listen, just in case, because I know Baron can be a bit much, I'm just pre-potting.
That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't cast that yet. I need to target something first. That's still recharging.
Rogue deals with the adds. I will take second wave. All right.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That's still recharging.
Aggro.
That spell isn't ready yet. Not enough mana.
Nice wand. I like that. Nice wand. Okay, well, I mean, well, that was not too bad overall. Pretty damn solid. Could have dropped his mount, but you know, it is what it is. Why do you roll on a caster on a DPS wand? I'm trying to understand. Okay, just went offline. Yep. You know, I think that's twice that they have taken our loot. We're not going to engage into frivolous discussions. I have just decided to block him and not group with him again. And that is an unfortunate ending because the wand and the head actually would have been really solid upgrades. Unfortunately for us, that hasn't worked, and so yeah, we're left with one upgrade. But you gotta be happy for what you have and not for all of things that you don't have. And we got one upgrade, which was more than worthwhile. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you all in the next episode, and bye bye.